Alright, so here we have all of the colors of the iPhone 16 Pro. We have them in their max variants right here, but we also have some Pro models to do a little size comparison here somewhere through the video. But there you can see them. They don't look particularly special because they're a little bit boring compared to all the cool colors that we had with the 16 in the previous video. I mean, look, if I just bring the teal in here, look at this. It just outshines all these colors for me. It's so fun. It's such a nice color. So here, let's see what the boxes look like compared. Well, you can't compare the color because they just have the fronts on them. So we have here the white, the black, the desert, and the natural titanium colors. And in the desert video, I did say that it's kind of like a bait and switch just because I really don't think Apple represented this color right here, right on their website. It's definitely darker and a deeper, nicer gold in my opinion. This is more like a couple of years ago we had the Pro models that had a beige almost gold iPhone, and I know there were a lot of fans of that, and if you're a fan of that color back then here it is. It's basically back in this form right here. But my disappointment doesn't come from this color not being nice, because it is. The issue is just what was presented on Apple's website, which looked a little bit deeper and deserty. And let me know what you think, particularly just first impressions here of the desert color. Is that what you thought it was going to look like? And there it is. I do, however, if there's a silver lining to this, is the natural or the titanium sides here look absolutely stunning. I really do like that kind of copper gold look on the sides. I wish that would have kind of carried over more to the back. I think that would have been fantastic. It would have been even a color I would have probably sprung for. But with that said, my color here is the natural titanium. Now I looked online after I unboxed the black phone because I started thinking and having second thoughts that maybe I should have gone with black. And honestly, that is still kind of ruminating in my head here because it looks just really nice. It's so sleek, and I'm a little tired of natural titanium because I had that the whole past year. And guess what? It's the only one that is actually sold out in my area. You can get any of the other colors except for the black, which I thought was very, very interesting. It kind of feels like most people know that the other colors just aren't anything special anymore. People do want specifically special colors, like what we had with the purple a couple years ago, like what we had with the green, which I regret not having that green when it came out. It sucks that it came out midway through the year. I did review it. It was fantastic, but I already had bought the phone. But to me, that green that came out a couple years ago for the Pro model is absolutely the best. And also the 11 that had the midnight green, I believe, was also just amazing. I just wish we would get more greens and oranges, more pinks here. Fun colors that would just kind of show off more of that, you know, fun side of Apple that we know Apple's capable of doing, but for some reason they don't want to. So the unboxing for the desert iPhone, I did kind of trash on it for a while, and that's mainly just because what I expected is not what it actually is. When we take the color at face value, now seeing it here, knowing that it has the gold undertones, it has the kind of rosy undertones, kind of pale, like, it is a really nice color. It's definitely not something that I would personally sport or buy, but I know given all the reception and all the thoughts that people had when I made the unboxings of the older gold iPhones, I know there's a lot of people out there that like this type of shade, and that's perfectly fine. I think the problem is that Apple has resorted back to just having white, black, and gold. So we've come full circle and they've given us natural titanium 2 years in a row. Not sure what's going on with the innovation with colors at Apple. The desert definitely got a whole lot of marketing and advertising with Apple, and it definitely didn't deserve it. There's nothing really special about this color. It's not particularly unique. It doesn't have anything particularly special. So yeah. With that said, before I continue, let's get in a word from our sponsor, CASETiFY. Now, CASETiFY is the world's most popular tech accessory brand known for their protective phone cases and global collaborations. This year, they have a full and expansive lineup of accessories for all of your devices. From one of my favorite MagSafe charging stands that also charges your AirPods, to some awesome color block cables that support 240-watt charging, along with rugged Apple Watch bands that even after a year of heavy use still look fantastic on my Watch Ultra, and even some nifty AirPod cases cases that you can customize with text, just like they're highly customizable cases like this one I customized last year. That's still one of my favorite ones ever. While CASETiFY is widely known for their great case lineup, from simple clear cases to one that has a hidden stand on it, this here is their new Bounce Odyssey on my Apple Watch Ultra, which is an all-in-one watch protector and band that is going to make your watch look awesomely retro and keep it protected for whatever activity you might throw at it. Whether it's running, looking cool out in the town, or like me when I'm rock climbing, in which the Bounce Odyssey keeps my watch protected and I don't have to worry about even thinking of scratching my watch. Now, with how important photography is with this year's iPhone 16 and 16 Pro, CASETiFY has cooked up something really special. This is the Ultra Bounce case with their new attachment system. First of all, visually this case is just absolutely stunning and really fun to me. While other cases have MagSafe, this case has some extra visual notes on the back that make that MagSafe blend seamlessly into the back of the design. This also has a 10 times military drop protection, so you can rest assured your phone will be perfectly fine after any crazy drop that might happen, all the way up to 32.8 feet. Now this case has 6-layer 360-degree protection, all while having MagSafe and having built-in camera lens protectors. But it doesn't stop there, because the bounce corners have an added feature where you can clip in their new Ultra Bounce and attachment system. That way you can have your phone ready for horizontal shots or vertical, whether you're taking photos, videos, or you're wearing your phone out to not have to carry it. This same exact strap also even turns into a wrist strap so that you can capture your favorite moments in a pinch. Now all this allows you to carry your phone, but my favorite attachment of theirs is their new Ultra Bounce carabiner, since I can now just clip this to my backpack when I'm hiking, or even to my harness when I'm rock climbing. The versatility of this new Ultra Bounce case and the attachment system is just fantastic. Now you can use the link here on the screen or click the link in the description down below to go to casetify.com/darkgadgetsyt, which will automatically apply 15% off of your order. And again, thanks to CASETiFY for sponsoring this video. Now let's go ahead and just grab all these, stack them side by side so you can see all the titanium sides on these phones, and you know, judge it a little bit more closely for yourself to see what you think here now that we can see them all. Now what I do like about the black this year is that they did go ahead and actually make this all just basically as black as can be. It looks really, really nice, and on top of that, it actually feels really, really nice. I don't know why, but for some reason the black one feels slightly better to the fingers on the hand than all of the other ones. I can't explain it. I can't give you a reason why. This is just what I'm telling you. It feels sleeker. And of course, with the fact that the front is also, you know, black and it looks like it's part of the screen, unlike all the other colors, it looks sleeker too when you're using it. It looks a little bit more immersive than all of the other colors, which is why I'm contemplating it. Now here you can see the sleep and wake buttons on all of them, the new camera control on all of them as well. As far as fingerprints go, just to get that out of the bat, this does attract a lot more fingerprints, at least the titanium material, than all of the aluminum phones on the 16. And here from this angle, what I can see is that that desert is accumulating the most actually, which is very surprising. The black one definitely must have some sort of special finish that I didn't read up on or something, because the black just is not keeping those smudges, which is surprisingly just amazing. Honestly, I can't keep talking about the black. I'm gonna end up just switching it out. This sucks. So yeah, the desert's gonna be the most smudges here on the side that I can tell. The second one here being actually the white silver here on the side. Yeah, third being titanium. And the one with the least is actually the black one here at this angle? Yes? No, then I would say the natural titanium actually has the least fingerprints here on the sides, but the black and the natural are very close to each other. If you care about fingerprints or the smudginess on the sides, then the black and the titanium, natural titanium, are gonna be kind of the best ones that I'm seeing here at this angle. It's tough to show it to you, and you can see that we get kind of like the same rings around. Not an issue, just kind of goes away after every time that you use it, but that is the most noticeable actually on the black one. So keep that on mind as well. But it's not as noticeable in person. I don't think you would ever really care. I do wonder how well that black finish is gonna fare over a year with chips and stuff like that. So I don't think it'll be that good. In that case, natural or maybe even the silver might fare better over the next year or 2 years that you have the phone and you're hitting it and stuff like that. Now here at the bottom, of course, everything is tinted to the device's color. You can see the USB-C ports right there. Everything is just really nice. And you can really see that sand, or I might call it sand multiple times throughout this video, but the desert, it just looks so nice. That copper finish is just really nice on the titanium. Really, really like that. And then let's go ahead and move over to the camera backs just so you can see here the rings around the lenses. Let me get a good view there so you can see it. Look at that. I think you should base your decision really on this shot right here. I would just choose it right there. Just choose the color you like the most. That's how they're going to look. Of course, they're going to change with different lighting and stuff that we see throughout the video and everything, so you can see it better. But this really does show a good representation right there with the lighting and the angle so that you can make a decision. Let me go ahead and move it this way, move it that way. And let's see real quick, just a little size comparison. I do have the 15 Pro from last year, just so you can kind of see the difference between the Pro Max and the Pro. This is the natural titanium, of course, which in the unboxing, I was like, it looks like there's a difference in color between last year's natural titanium and this year's, but it's too close to call. I'm really not sure about it. But you can see the Pro Max definitely much bigger. The bezels this time around, if you're interested in that, let me grab, I have a 14 Pro Max so we can compare it a little bit more fairly. Let's open the App Store here. All right, so I've gone ahead and switched to light mode here so you can see the difference. And you can see that the new Pro Max is also just a little bit taller than this 14 Pro Max that we have right here. So let me just show you the difference. It's very slight, but a little bit taller. You can kind of see it there, very subtle. And on top of that, we also get those slimmer bezels, which I'm sure you can kind of notice there. If you're just using the phone day to day, you probably wouldn't notice, but when you really compare them, then you really do appreciate the difference in the bezel size. Is that gonna make a difference day to day? I guess compared or with the fact that it's also taller a little bit, you're gonna get more screen real estate. You can just see there from a distance, the phone just looks much bigger, much larger. It doesn't necessarily feel like it is, it still feels about the same. Now the 15 Pro does have those harsh edges, so if you're upgrading, you're gonna feel like this is softer also and easier to hold. And we of course have the titanium on the 16 Pro, so that's gonna feel a little bit lighter as well. So if you're upgrading from an older phone, you're gonna notice the differences a lot more than if you're just upgrading from last year's. And the same is gonna apply to the 16 Pro, the normal size, with the 15 Pro of last year, because that one's also a little bit taller, a little bit wider, but it's very small and very minute, but worth noting that they're both a little bit bigger. Now let me go ahead and grab all these and show them to you here on the camera so you can kind of see them slightly different angle here, me holding them. We'll talk and text with each one of them right there. And you might hear the sound here of AirDrop going off, but that's fine. Right there, a little bit of a slightly yellow lighting so you can kind of see the difference in hue there and how they react. The nice thing about the white, which I haven't really spoken about in this video, is that it's basically stark white this time around. It's as close as it's ever been to stark white, which is nice. However, the only thing that's keeping me is that I'm not a fan of the silver bezels here. I don't know, I think it's crazy, but I'm curious as to how this would look if it had black around the edges like it does here on the black, and then black and white. That'd be kind of cool. But there you go, almost fully white there. The black one is not fully black, it's kind of more grayish. I do have the black 15 or 16, so we can compare it right here, and you can see the differences in color right there. This is the 16 right here. So a slight difference in the texture and stuff that we got going on there. Really just depends on what you prefer. I definitely prefer the one on the 16 Pro. Just a little bit more of my shade of black than the 16. And then for the white one here real quick, let me just compare the 16 to the 16 Pro in case you're wondering as well. This one I do prefer the 16 more than the 16 Pro. I just really like the way it looks in person. That frosted back looks a little nicer, and it feels a little nicer too, in my opinion, than the 16 Pro. Also, the 2 lenses just look so much better than 3 lenses for me. So let's go in order here, talking and texting here with the white 16 Pro Max. That's how it looks right there. What are your thoughts on that? I think it looks really good. Finally, it's more white than it has been before. However, I really just wish we would have just gotten a bunch of different colors that are new and not the same thing every year. It's just kind of silly, but there you go. That's how it would look while talking and texting. Of course, I guess the only thing that I don't really like is how much you can see this little fidget spinner camera lens. I'm not the biggest fan here, and would be the only thing that would keep me from getting white. I just don't really like how that looks. I would definitely get it on the 16, not on the 16 Pro Max. Now the black one here, which I just think looks fantastic. Look how sleek that looks. It's just understated. Nobody's looking at you. I kind of really like that. It makes the phone look smaller as well, even though this is the Pro Max. For some reason, the black just kind of helps make it look smaller, and I also really like that. And even when I'm using it in my hand, when I'm like here, it feels smaller too, I swear. I think this is one of the reasons why I kind of want it, because since I got the Pro Max this year for the first time in a really long time, the Pro Max really does feel much, much bigger than my old 15 Pro. And this kind of counteracts that and makes it look a little sleeker, a little smaller. Really like the black bezels around it. It's just a winner in my book. I think it's the best color this year. I know it's boring, but it really is. There's a reason it's sold out. It's just classic, timeless. It just looks so good. Now the desert here, let's see how that looks. There you go from a distance. I think this is going to be a hit, especially with the ladies out there, just because it kind of does look like the gold models that came out a couple years ago, and I know a lot of girls were getting that color. Now texting here, look at that. I definitely think it looks really nice. It just sucks that they advertised it one way, and so this is what I'm getting now, and it's just, yeah, it's hard to just kind of reset and then just, you know, just be like, oh, it's fine. They just advertised it in a different way and whatever, just accept the phone color for what it is. They could have just advertised it for what it is, but I'm guessing they really needed to make it sound and look like a new color, a new phone, etc. because the upgrades here are very minimal to last year. But overall, very subtle, very nice tone. It's nothing too crazy. It's not in your face. It's calm, it's demure. And lastly here, natural titanium, which it's a great color, honestly. If you didn't have it last year and you get it this year, you're gonna love it. I've loved it over the past year. Great with cases, looks really nice. It doesn't really necessarily attract attention. It looks very industrial, which is kind of one of the reasons that I like it so much. And overall, a nice kind of middle ground, not too dark, not too light. Mainly the reason why I got it, and mainly the reason why I wouldn't really jump over to the white one from this, because that's too bright, but I would jump down to the dark one to attract less attention and make it look a little bit more sleek, because these borders around here, I still do notice them a lot. And I feel they make the phone look bigger, and especially on the Pro Max, they just are adding to the bulkiness of it all. But you can see there, I think this one does kind of the best at kind of mixing and matching that fidget spinner lens triad thing with the actual color. Of course the black blends in, but this does a good job as a color to blend it all in. But here you have them both side by side. The titanium also does a better job of blending in the flash. You can see that on the black, all you see is the flash there, but on the titanium, you kind of just look at the lenses and the whole phone overall. So I wish we could somehow darken the flashes to really make this fully black. That would be really, really nice. But there you go. So one last look right there again so you can see it. And there you go. What do you think? My goodness, I really hope that we move away from the three lenses. I really don't like the layout of them. I think the Google Pixel recently, just that looks so much better than this kind of crazy. It just looks too wild. I'm guessing the next year's phone will have something slightly different because we've had this layout for a little bit too long. Let's go ahead and move all this. Let's try it on some cases and talk a little bit more about this. Of course, you've been seeing some of that B-roll around the video to kind of help you out in deciding and seeing it outside, inside, whatever I'm filming in the future. But hopefully it helps you. Genuinely, I am here to kind of help you decide here, because I know it's tough spending this much money on a phone, especially sight unseen if you're not going to the Apple store to check them out. I mean, I personally no longer even make trips to the Apple store. It absolutely sucks to go there now. But yeah, let me talk a little bit about getting a phone based on phone cases. Now, if you're gonna put a case on your phone, then this is quite important. If you're not, then obviously you would just choose based on what you see here. But some of the colors just do better with other colors than others. So for example, if we were to put this crazy purple case from CASETiFY onto this desert color, I think that looks absolutely horrendous. Personally, that doesn't look great. But if you go ahead and put it on the titanium, looks perfectly fine, looks at home. On the black, it works perfectly fine. On the white, it also works perfectly fine. In fact, actually, I really like that on the white. Look at that, my goodness. That pops so nicely. Very, very nice. And then same thing with any other color. Again, we choose another color. Blue, you can't put it on that. I don't like how that looks. This looks good. Black looks fine, a little bit dull, and the white looks fantastic. White tends to just work really well with bright cases, so if you want to switch out your case all the time and you want to really pop, I think white really works for that. So if you want like a bright pink case, definitely go white. It will look fantastic. But the natural titanium does a good job of blending that too, because sometimes you can put any case on it, it's just gonna work. It's just a very, like, not insulting color, it's very normal, and so it kind of just works with a lot of things. I don't know how to describe it Here's another one, for example, the titanium just kind of blends in. The black works with this one as well. And the white again works. The desert, it's not horrible. It's not horrible. But I mean, here what we're seeing is the desert just doesn't really work with cases that well. It just doesn't look that great. Here we have black and basically gold, a combination that I would typically kind of like. And it doesn't look bad. It kind of does work. It's just that color underneath. It just looks like, it looks like I dirtied a white color or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really look like a color. It's kind of like not shining through. I'm not really seeing this color. And that's kind of what frustrates me about the color. Meanwhile, on basically all these other colors, now this is a clear back. And so this looks really great on like lighter phones like the white or the natural. You can see how well natural titanium just works with every single case. My goodness, it's reminding me why I got it again. The black here, not a fan of black with clear cases, but oh, well, this actually looks pretty dang good. But you can kind of see that it kind of helps show the dusties and everything because of the black. But yeah, can't beat black on black with a bunch of black accents. That just always looks good as well. And white on black, truly fantastic. Honestly, it works so well with cases. I guess I just don't really want the attention of white from that far of a distance, especially on a phone this big. But wow, I really do like that. But yeah, I mean, again, with cases, you gotta just choose what you think is gonna work best for you. If you wanna go crazy, change your case every couple months, I probably would recommend this. It would look really nice with almost anything you throw on it. White just works really well, especially this year's white, which is almost just pure white. It still has a slight sheen to it. Don't get me wrong, it's not pure white like the iPhone 16, but it's very close, and it's the closest we've had in a really long time, like since probably the iPhone 5 days or something like that. Black works with cases as long as you keep them deep and dark and kind of understated as well, just like the phone itself. Like if you're going for the stealth look, you gotta go with the black color. I mean, that's really the way to go. You don't want anyone to look at it, and you get a case that also doesn't attract too much attention, or if it is, it has to be kind of in those deeper, darker tones. The desert, I really don't have much to say for it. You're not gonna find many cases that are gonna match with it. Of course, if you find some cases that aren't clear and cover the whole phone and maybe only show this, yeah, it'll work. But for the most part, cases don't seem to be working too great on this, which is kind of a shame. I don't know. I would like to genuinely hear from people that like the desert color a lot, like over all of the other ones, which I know that you're out there. I would really like to know what about it specifically you like, what it matches, what the vibe is with the phone. Because for me, I can't really come to a reason as to why I would get this over the white, over the natural, or over the black. Like, sure, I guess you could say it's like close to gold and you really like gold, but I also like gold, and I just can't make the leap here to this backing. It's just not winning me over here. It's a little too dull. I really do wish Apple would have really punched in the color just a little bit more on the saturation, and I think they would have had a home run on this one. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank y'all for watching. I really do hope that Apple decides to start making some more fun colors in the future, because just because these are called their Pro phones doesn't mean that they have to be super boring phones with boring colors that don't even live up to previous year's colors. So I guess we'll see. Time will tell. But hopefully, at least it helped you. Maybe you disagree with a lot of what I've said in this video. Maybe you love the gold and you think the natural titanium is trash. That's fantastic. Let me know why. Speak your voice. Tell me why. I like reading the comments. I always try to reply. If I don't reply, I definitely probably read it. So that pretty much concludes the video. Make sure to check out the iPhone 16 all colors comparison as well. Check out the other videos on the channel. Give likes, help out the channel. And yes, finally, we're done. Woo! I've been up for like 24 hours straight at this point. I made a ton of mistakes in the previous videos that I had to fix and like edit, do all that. And so I think this one came out pretty good without any issues. Like all my cameras are recording, no mistakes here. And yeah, thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.